Welcome. My name is Rhonda Vroman, and I come to you from Even Being as I continue to share the story of the well of being. And today we're moving into the 8th part of this 9-part story. And last time we had the realization that we were separated, or at least the mistaken belief perhaps that we were separated. And now today, in this exploration, we'll start to look at some of the stories we tell that perpetuate that sense of being separate from and disconnected. And so these stories that we tell ourselves are stories that declare, I am lacking. Just feel the power of that statement. I am lacking. Knowing whatever we put behind I am is an invitation for that to appear. Why me? Stories. I'm alone. Stories. They're all stories. What will I amount to? Stories. Stories about who we should be. Stories about who we should be. Or stories about who we think we are. They are interior maps whose familiar roads we travel. These stories that become so well worn in our patterns of thinking, they become interior maps. And we travel these neural pathways, these familiar roads, so readily. Over and over. Can't we all relate to telling ourselves, without even knowing we're doing it, the same stories over and over again? Yet, when we apprehend these maps, these stories, these patterns, said another way, when we begin to notice and observe those habitual thought patterns, when we become aware of our own thinking, there's a kind of a light bulb that goes on. Or said differently, we awaken. And when we become aware of those thought patterns, we awaken and arise, as it were, to a new perspective, to new possibilities. We arise and awaken to a new perspective, to new possibilities. And most importantly here, we see that our misery, has only been us looking through the stories which with we had defined the world. We see that our stories, our misery, had only been us looking through the stories with which we had defined the world. And our difficult feelings simply our body's responses to those narratives. Our difficult feelings simply our body's way of letting us know that those narratives are not us. And it reminds me of the wonderful work I get to do to help people feel what's in their bodies, to let that be what guides, knowing every memory we've ever had resides in the cellular memory of our bodies. So until our next session, my invitation to you is to feel the body so fully that you accept the invitation of releasing the stories that are not true, that are not you, that no longer serve you. And I'll continue to do that myself also. Thank you for joining in this part 8 of 9 reading from The Well of Being, a children's book for adults. Namaste.